So welcome to the fourth episode, part 1 of Arnis Science 101. So I'm Jeff.
I'm Nathan. I'm Glenn. So for the first episode, as a recap, we did the open diagonal strike. And for the second episode, we did the top defense.
And for the third episode, we did the implementation of the open diagonal and the top defense and pressure testing.
So for this episode, the fourth episode, we will be doing drills and exercises that you can do with your partners, teammates, and friends at home in order to build and develop your open diagonal strike, top defense, and counter. So let's break down the technique that we're going to study today. In this portion of the technique, you need to look for the center, which is most balanced for the stick. So if this is the stick point as reference, notice that here, if it's too low, right? Yes? Then it'll hit the person's head, right? If it's too high, the stick will most likely slide down and hit you, okay? So if it's slanted too much on one side as well, on this side, it hits one, it can hit the hand because it means that the hand is squared on top of the body, right there. Or if it hits here, it'll slide down, okay? So these are the excesses that you want to avoid. Yeah, if we look at it from the side, you really want to avoid this hand right here being too close to the head, right there. Okay, because if that happens, the tendency will be for the weapon to come down at this angle and probably hit the hand, because the target of the opponent will be to hit the head. And if you place your hand right on top of your head or near it, it means that instead of your head getting hit, your hand will most likely get hit. So at the side, notice, if it's too low, this is what it looks like. Right. So I'm going to do this. See? It's going to hit the head. Then if it's too high, there. See? That's what it's going to look like. If it's too slanted to one side, right? You'll see it there. If it's too slanted, this is open, right? If it's too slanted to the other side, like this, notice it will slide down, right? So, how do we practice getting the top defense, which is most balanced for you? So this is the type of practice we can do for top defense, okay? We do it in sticky form. So you're there, right? So the person who holds this weapon or the stick is going to push it. Now, the receiver needs to work out which is okay for them. So now, how do we drill to create a top defense that is best for the individual? So first, what we do here, at least in our team, is we cross the sticks first, like this. Then, from this point, we need to test it. How do you test it? So, keeping pressure downward here, all right? If I move forward like this and it hits the person on the head, it means that the top defense is too low, okay? So, the learner will need to adjust it so that it doesn't hit the head. Right. Then, If I slide it this way and it hits the hand, it means also that there's too much weight on one side. So it means that this one is too much weight. So you need to also adjust it there as well. Then you also test to the side. If you're testing to the side, it means that, oops, is this going to fall off? Good. Now, always also engage the person so that they know that their hand is too close to their head. Yeah? So the person will find out what's the best top defense position for them. Right? So now comes the drilling. So the person now extends forward. Okay? And then you again put it back to see if it works for them. Good. So during this drill, as much as possible, contact has to constantly be made, and it's just pushing. So you're just pushing on the person. Just push, and then they'll push back. And then when you push forward, there, they need to be able to properly defend without their hands getting hit, their head getting hit, or it sliding down, like there, see? I'm trying to slide it intentionally, it's not sliding. And then I'm pushing here, it's not going, right? So it means therefore that it's effective. Good. So this is the contact drill in which the objective is to only to keep on sticking to the other person's stick, and if there's an excess, like in this case, you can see it, it slides, it means my top defense has a weakness. So if I put pressure there, and then put pressure back, good. Notice that we're starting in a parallel stance, okay? So that we have an idea if we're shifting more to the left or more to the right. And we're not going to be dependent on a particular foot forward. So, there, 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 there. Okay, now we're going to go through exercise number 2. Okay? So the idea of exercise number 2 is you're going to do top defense and then open diagonal and then open diagonal after he does his top defense. So when you're working with a partner, this is a way to learn timing. It's a way to learn if your top defense puts you in a safe position or relatively safe position, and if you can actually launch or open diagonal safely from this top defense position as well. Okay? So for this exercise, we're going to put our hands behind our backs so that we get used to moving our bodies around. So first we start this way. So notice we will do it really super slow. So I'm coming in, I extend, 2 counters, I come in, 2 counters, I come in, 2 counters. So we're going to do it from slow to medium speed to fast. So you will notice that in this exercise, we will keep our feet parallel. Okay? So the body adapts to the top defense and the open diagonal counter. You can see the top then you can see the feet. Notice that this is where the force production comes from. Yes? And part of it is the bending back of the body. You can see right there. So now we are doing a drill or exercise, that requires that the footwork makes you go around. This actually is good for developing the sidestepping. And when done properly, it is actually fun. Notice that they are using what we would call shifts and side steps right there. Most of the time they are moving in one direction, which is to the side of the stick hand. So now we're going to do an exercise in which the footwork is forward and backward. So here, Glenn is moving his attack forward, and now Jet is moving his attack forward. And they will learn how to time it now.
So once again, I'm Jet. I'm Glenn.
And I'm Nathan. Thank you for watching the first part of our episode 4. And watch out for the next part next week.